Dang, we're going live here. Now, people are watching us on TikTok Live. For all the people, all the homies that are out there on TikTok Live watching us, we're here. We're live. We're doing episode number 18. Have you ever heard of this guy named Hub's Life, Oskar?
Hub's Life? I do not know who Hub's
So
Life is.
Hub's Life is a guy that got TikTok famous on basically filming his 9 to 5 and basically saying, hey, this is okay. Having a 9 to 5 is okay. And then he bait and switched us and quit his job. So he no longer has a 9 to 5. And he has over 1 million subscribers on TikTok, right? So he just quit. And I can't really fault the guy for quitting and just being like, hey, I want to make this my full-time job. But people out there are getting mad the fact that he is no longer true to his content. So he's I guess sold out, to a lack of a better term. But it's like, dude, he wants to.
Do you blame him? I do not.
I don't blame him. But also, I feel like social media, people think I have 1 million followers, and it's cool. But if you build a community around a certain audience, and then you no longer are resonating with that audience, you no longer can make money. You know what I'm saying? Cause people will stop watching you. He dropped from 1 million to 900K or something like that. But again, over time, I feel like TikTok doesn't push you out with that. But I digress.
Yeah.
Episode 18.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to episode 18. As Bibhor kind of mentioned right now, we are live on TikTok and YouTube at the same time. So if you want to join us live and communicate with us, you have the power to do so on your platform of choice. So as you all may know, I'm not sure if you watched in or tuned into last episode, we are doing it a little bit differently, as you could kind of see on the YouTube channel itself. Once you see the video posted, we have a little laundry list of items that we're actually covering today. So we have about 8 segments, all cut up into about 7 segments at about 7 minutes each, where we kind of talk about pros and cons and kind of things, and maybe we'll show some clips and kind of get into different things. Yeah, so let's get into it.
Yeah. What do we got today?
First things first, we have, is AI about to replace your therapist, lawyer, and your personal trainer? So see, this is our kickoff question. This is how we're going to start before you get into it, right? Why are we still paying $200 an hour for humans when AI is getting scary good?
I think we'll break it down in therapy, fitness, and law, right? I think a law is a completely different category that is a different beast. But for therapist, I don't think AI is going to take over. I think AI is going to take over not a therapist, but more so of hey, I want a second opinion. AI can be your second opinion. But I feel if you are, if there's something wrong with you, an AI doesn't feel empathy, right? I think that's where if you're talking to your open AI chatbot might be super friendly to you, but it does not understand empathy. So I think people really need to, and there's a lot of biasness on that, right? So it starts saving memory, and then you're caught up in its own biasness of is it feeding me what I want to hear more so than what is really out there, right? So you have to differentiate on that end. So certain things, fitness, I think it can. I think our boy, shout out to our boy, Elliot Hutcherson, I think his last name is Elliot.
Yeah.
Elliot is building an application called Humberto.
Yep.
And it's a not medical, it's a gym coach.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I think AI can replace that. I do not think AIs will replace lawyers that are going to be arguing in front of a jury. I don't think AI can create such emotions that a lawyer can. And I don't think an AI can set up 10-step trap questions yet. Maybe they might be able to in the future, but at a certain point, AI's logic of steps will eventually start to break once you start to go to, let's say, 50 steps, 60 steps, right? Can it follow a 60-step equation?
But do you think there's maybe a possibility of
the bottom of the funnel for lawyers, or you're cooked?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
if you're a paralegal, anyone that analyzes documents, yeah, you're I don't know what else to say.
Kind of basic things
you're
that.
Done. You're done. Yeah, your job is just because of the fact like their job is to prep the lawyer for courts, right? So in hindsight, you can miss something. You're a human being. You are not going to remember every single thing from every single corner, but an AI will. I'm saying that's it. The AI can simply just remember it, right? I mean, it's like a pros and cons, right? Some of the pros is available 24/7 without burnout. It's.
I mean, I guess like the point is like it scored 90th percentile on the bar exam, right? It didn't get 100% even, but it scored in the. I mean, the bar exam is based off of logic, right? So it scored highly in logic, but again, it's smart enough to kind of overtake these tasks, I guess. Is like, can it build a contract, and can it kind of see if that contract compared to other contracts that existed in the past?
It can do that. No, all of that stuff, like all of data like analyzation.
Contract law, I guess. It's like it's going to be a different... Negotiation could be more streamlined, I guess. Like, if you take the human aspect out of it, there's less emotion involved with it, and things become... arguably maybe more fair, right? You're actually paying the true value of a company instead of someone just maybe you getting emotional and getting it, right? For instance, Warren Buffett. Why did Warren Buffett get Berkshire Hathaway? Because a guy pretty much lied and took back how much he was going to sell them for, and then he made an aggressive takeover kind of thing. It was he even says that was the most emotional thing I've ever done and the stupidest thing I've ever done, but look to where it's led him, I guess. Like, he used it as a holding company, and it no longer was a textile company. But if you take that human emotion aspect out of it, and everything just becomes streamlined.
I think, like even in a therapist and attorney case, right? Like, you cannot take that human emotion and empathy out of it.
I'm pretty sure there's already like a therapist AI where you could just...
No, I'm sure there is, but they're just not going to be useful. I feel like they're going to tell you AI eventually will have its own bias. AI is going to start becoming biased based on input that you give it as well. So it's going to be biased towards you. It's going to be nicer towards you. If you have interacted with ChatGPT on a single thread for a long time, it'll start to tell you things that like oh yeah, keep going, yeah, like what I'm saying, like it's generally a nice tone, right? But sometimes you don't need it. You need someone to tell you like, hey, like, lose some weight. I don't know what that is, right? Like, someone has to like tell you the hard truth that you don't want to hear, and AI is not willing to do that.
Yeah.
So and then the lawyer stuff, right? Like, once you start to get to complex stuff, like morality, right? Like, so think about from like a judge being deciding a punishment, or that there's a lot of morality thing comes in. Like like we got capital punishment. Like where would AI stand on like things of like of moral questions, right? So again, once we start to go down that legal path of introducing AI in the legal field, at that level, there's other things that will come up. On the bottom level, right, if you're like a paralegal and all that shit, you're done. Like, I don't know what, like, anyone that is sitting there reading documents, like, limited time for your job. Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I agree with you. I think all those like kind of like low level stuff, it's going to take it over, right? And it's going to make those things. There's going to be less human error, things like that. But I guess like I don't know, Moore's law, right? Technology is going to keep advancing, right? So at what point does it get so smart where it could have the logic of an attorney, or I don't know, where it could just do things maybe just at a higher level consistently? Maybe it's not the best, but it's just consistently getting a B+ kind of
I don't know if you saw this. It came out today, and Sam Altman was on, I don't know if it's like a Senate hearing or something's going on with like AI stuff. And it's a video that he made, and a video that he's asked a question like the future of AI. And he says, who's to say that like by, GPT-7, that it hasn't reached the level where it's, basically thought of the president? How do you know by GPT-7 that it hasn't become smarter than Sam Altman? And he's right.
And he's like taking over.
He's right. He's right. And he's like, I've literally, given AI the path to like be better than me, and eventually in a few more iterations it will be. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right? Again, I was talking to a coworker of mine today, and The problem is you need to accept the fact faster because it's happening, regardless if you like it or not. It is coming. It is here, and it's how quickly you can adapt to it is going to be like how if you survive or not.
I agree. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Only the future will tell exactly what's going to happen. But segment 2 we got next up.
Oh, dude!
How is a World Cup and a Champions League winner still seen as mid? So where is this coming from? Olivier Giroud. Giroud, excuse me. My French is a little off.
I'm not French.
Was he better than Benzema all along, even though Benzema was on Real Madrid and he got all of these kind of nice dibs and all these nice things?
I am...
Okay. A fun fact before we get into it. Giroud. He surpassed Thierry Henry, who's arguably one of the greatest French players of all time. His goal tally back in 2021 on his Champions League run, scoring key goals. So why is he not seen as the best? Even though, again, Henry is known as the best. I know him as one of the best, right?
Personal opinion, right? I am not a Real Madrid fan. Karim Benzema, I would say, is from 2000 and let's say in the 2010 to 2022, 2023, right? Let's give him that 13-year period. In that 13-year period, Karim Benzema is top 5 goal scorer of all time. No. Top 5 goal scorer in that period. Top 5 striker in that time frame. Name me 2 other players. Name me players that are better than him, and I'll tell you if I agree or not.
In France?
No, not for France. I'm just saying in general. I think Giroud might be better than him for France, but I don't think he's better than him. Period.
What do you mean, pound for pound, for your club level and everything like that? That's
I'm just saying, who is the better player? Is Benzema the better player than Giroud? Right. I think that's ultimately what it comes down to.
Statistically, arguably, Benzema won more championships with Real Madrid, right? Champions League championships,
Benzema played at the highest level. Yeah, but there's
but Giroud played in Italy. He played in France. He played in England. And I don't think he played in Spain. Did he play in Spain? Atletico. He played for Atletico.
Yeah, but
so he went to everyone, and he did decent, even in the U.S. Right? So
pull up a random year. Just pull up random. Pull up 2014 La Liga goal scorers.
Let's find out. I mean, again, don't forget that you had Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo on there, right?
And I'm just pulling up a random year. I don't know if he was.
Dude. Oh my gosh, you're come on.
No, I don't think Griezmann's better than
Benzema was number 9.
Number 9, okay.
But there's a tie for third, so technically.
This is so funny. If you look at the list, it's like Ronaldo and Messi, and then a huge drop off between the second and the third. There's 43 goals, and the next one is 22. That means they were just cooking them, dude.
Yeah. Ronaldo and Messi it was no competition. Then Griezmann, Neymar, Baca, Adruiz, Bueno, Suarez.
I think Benzema is go up the following year. Can you go up the following year? Is there a way to just increase the year? Oh no.
Yeah. Let's see here.
All right.
He went up to number 4 the next year, 24 goals. So he had a better season the following season.
Yeah, no one. I will never agree with the fact that people say Giroud is better than Benzema. Benzema is a leagues ahead of Giroud. Leagues, dude. He won the Ballon d'Or, bro. He was the best player in the world. In fact, if I say I think there was some sort of a grudge with Benzema and the French coach. This is why he didn't play in one of the World Cups. It's not that he wasn't healthy. They didn't let him play.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
I hear something.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It's ESPN. It's this website.
Like, what do we hear?
Yeah, my bad.
Anyways, so I mean, what are your thoughts, dude? What do you think?
I think Benzema is, in my opinion, a bit overrated. I don't want to say he's overrated. He's one of the best ever. I think Giroud is just not given the proper.
You also have to understand, I guess,
like
his team success. You have to understand who's on that team. I feel like we're severely underestimating.
Benzema used to play for.
Like, the French team is stacked.
I don't know.
Like, think about Griezmann, Mbappe, Giroud, Benzema. Like, those are 4 elite level strikers, basically, right? Like, what? I'm sure I'm missing somebody. Like, who? There's probably one more person I'm like that's like super good, and I'm like, it's not coming top of mind. But you got 4 world class players
on France.
At the same time, in the same team.
But this is just like an argument over like their entire career, so to speak, right?
Over the entire career, Benzema clears him.
Giroud scored more goals than Benzema.
Yeah, just because he played more, probably. Who played more? Like, you can't say, like, oh, if you play more games, then yeah, you probably score more goals. How far is Benzema off the international team?
Dude, Benzema used to get hurt all the time.
Let's just see.
That's why he's just better.
Just to see. Oh, dude, you can't say because he got hurt he's better. Like,
100%. I mean, that's part of
who
being
scored
clutch,
more,
man.
Who
scored
scored more goals?
What do you mean?
Who scored more goals? Who overall has scored more goals? Karim Benzema has scored more goals in his career than Giroud. Yeah, like, fuck off, dude. You're playing more international games and you scored more international goals.
Dude,
does not give
Google
you beer.
know, man? Google doesn't know.
You know.
Google doesn't know.
Benzema is. Go up. Let me read this to you now. Let me read this to you. So Karim Benzema, right, has scored more significant goals for Real Madrid than Giroud has for any club. Benzema has more career goals. Benzema has a better game ratio for goals per game. Benzema has 37 goals in 87 appearances for France, whereas Giroud has 54 goals on 126. So the goal per average, about Giroud's a little bit better on that. So, I mean, overall, like, I think
Benzema, he has more national team goals.
Overall, like, he has more national team goals, but overall, like, the career-wise, dude, he clears them. Like, that's not even like.
Well, dude, you know who
he has won the best. At one point in time, he was the best player on earth.
At one point in time,
Giroud has never come on the top 10 on that list. He's never been top 10 player ever
for France.
Yeah,
he has. He's the number one goal scorer for France.
Giroud has never been the best top 10 player at any given point in time. Like, in the world. Let's say compare all the players in the world, right? At any given point, Giroud has never become top 10 players. Is that a valid statement? That's it, right?
Morgan Freeman is my favorite player. Yeah. Sorry, I saw we have B.O.P, Slickly Rickety, who's commenting on there, but I hear you. I mean, it's... I agree. But
shout out to Benzema, dude.
We could agree to disagree, so...
People say that, like, what does that mean? Like, what the fuck does that mean? We can agree to disagree. No,
people know what it means, man. People know
agree or disagree, dude.
People know what it means. What's up next on here?
He just has a picture of Peter Thiel on the screen, and it's just like creeping me out. Like, it's him and his net worth of $23 billion, dude. Like,
hey, man, don't call it a comeback. He's been here for years.
Peter Thiel, bro.
So, segment number 3, missionary. All right, is MrBeast just filming poverty porn for views? Here's my question: is he doing good, or is he just monetizing misery?
I feel like I don't think MrBeast does that. I think there are other YouTubers that I've seen in the space that do that a lot more. I think MrBeast to this point has now is doing challenges for the sake of doing bigger challenges. That's his thing. So, but I do get that. Like, I know people that do that a lot. I think people prey on the weak for views so they can get publicity. Like that guy, I think that goes around LA or a bunch of these other like homeless encampment places and goes to a local food place and buys like some like 50 hot dogs and passes out. But I heard he like forces not to pay them. It's like, oh, like you don't want to pay for this. You don't want to be a good person. Like he doesn't, you know what I'm saying? He's not doing it out of like good heart. He's like, imagine you're a business owner.
Like he's like bullying people.
Yeah, imagine you're a business owner and some guy comes with the camera and says, hey, you got to feed the homeless 50 hot dogs or I'm going to expose you on YouTube.
I see.
So like that's a hostage situation.
Extort people kind of thing.
Yeah, so like, yeah, and then you're making your content by filming like, you know, people. Like, so it's, I don't know, man. Like I get really like, those videos are like, you're farming for views, dude.
Simultaneously, to play the devil's advocate, do you think that there's a benefit to it? Like it's kind of giving people reach where it's kind of saying, or a reminder for people to say, hey man, you should probably go and help somebody, you know, like charity is kind of a necessary thing in life. Yeah. To give some amount of time or effort or money, whatever the case may be, whatever you have to give kind of thing, right? Is it kind of a way to do that? And
I mean, if that person is like, let's say, filming that thing, right? And then at the end of the video, he's coming out and he's actually like, you know, donating like 20% of what he earned back into like helping out these homeless people or whatever people like get out of like their situation, then yeah, like I don't think there's net positive in that situation. But like, is he just you know using them for views and rock to hell afterwards? Then like, whatever, dude. That's how you make your money. Like, I'm not gonna like go out and judge you for like what you do, but like, do I think it's a little immoral? Like, yeah, dude, fuck yeah, it is. Like, but people scam people. Do you know what I mean? Like, at least he's not out scamming people. He's just like taking advantage of like people. It's like that bum fight. You know what I'm saying? Like bum fight. You seen bum fight?
I have seen bum fight.
Yeah, it's bum fight, dude. Like it's like, you know, instead of you making them fight, you're just like waving $1. You're probably giving them $5 and they're doing those things. Whatever they'll do for $5.
But it's a different thing. Like, I mean, bum fights, you don't go around like sharing bum fights with like your family and everything like that. You know, it's like some of these videos they draw emotion out of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the whole point, though. They're just trying to hit that spot, dude.
Well, for sure.
For views.
Bum fights don't do that for me.
No,
you know?
bum fights.
They get something else, you know. But I'm just saying, it's like, I mean, I guess like the stat that kind of drew this out was that like you know, MrBeast does these videos where he cures blindness and all these things, and he has one where they do cataracts, you know, where they fix that, and they got 155 million views. That's more views than the WHO, I think, may have on their entire channel combined, and then some, you know? So think about, like, the spread of just this one. Whether he's really kind of just doing it for views or not, right, it still kind of spreads the idea and the understanding of cataracts and issues around the world, and these things kind of happening, you know? It's like...
Do you want me to tell you like a crazy fucking story about this? Now you talked about cataracts and the eye stuff.
Yeah.
This is like, I would say, I don't know, a while ago. This is like, I would say 15, 20 years ago maybe. And so Nepal has a relationship with North Korea. I don't know if it's friendly, but I think you can go. Like, you know, it's not as hostile as it is here in the United States. So basically, this guy, he was a doctor and an eye doctor, and he was doing like, you know, like eye surgery for people in North Korea, right? So he went in as like a missionary project, right? Like a good project. So he went in and he did a bunch of eye surgeries, and he fixed a bunch of people that were kind of blind and basically allowed them to see. And he shares one of his experience, and he was like, yeah, so I helped cure their eye, and the first thing they did was they ran up to the picture of the leader, the great leader, and said thank you, instead of turning around and saying that to your doctor.
Yeah.
Think about that. Think of the level of brainwashing that is necessary on that.
Well, I mean, they think he's like God and everything like that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's an authoritarian regime, right, and power wholeheartedly, right? But...
Getting back to the story about homeless people, I don't think you used to expose.
That was a weird digression, but yeah. Back to yeah.
It was a wild story, but
cataracts.
Cataracts.
I saw how we got there. I saw that. We're bringing the dots back.
But I think, dude, I'm not gonna say it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it is always necessary to show things to people that are not being seen, right? I think that's a power of like movies and like videos in general, right? Like sharing the things that not everyone is being able to see, right? It could be, anything to react emotions, whatever that might be, but overall, like if you were doing it and and going back and like, because you understand, hey, these guys are my product, for example, I got to make sure my product are well taken care of, because if not, someone else is going to start doing that. It's again, no one is stopping them from doing this.
But do you think we still have I guess like people, and I guess this is what feeding. It's like the economy of it is feeding, but we have like a weird fetish with like that kind of suffering and kind of like why do we like Squid Game so much? And
I've never seen it.
When MrBeast did like his version of Squid Games.
Oh, was it like that? I saw that. Super good. Yeah.
And then that was a lot of the I guess the feedback that they got. It's like, dude, it's like we're just watching a bunch of poor people fight for their lives.
$5 million
for Squid Game. No,
I think they won $5 million. $10 million he won actually.
I think it was more. Yeah,
it was $10 million. But it's a competition. What is so wrong with what he did? It was no better than like Treasure Island or whatever.
Well,
like,
I mean, I guess it's like Gladiators, right?
Yeah, like what Gladiators?
Just because, but, I mean, at the same time, it does make you.
It was a TV show on Amazon. It wasn't on a YouTube channel. It was on a fucking production done by Amazon. Get the fuck out of here.
But that's what I'm saying. But maybe like again, the market is there for it. But my question is do we have that fetish for?
I'm sure.
Kind of
I'm sure. I don't think. I think not like, fetish, but I think like there's a certain level of like
fetish is a good word. I like
prisoner's dilemma type of situations people like to see. And one of the things I noticed in that show was like he put a lot of people on situations that forced them to make decisions that normally wouldn't, and people were watching, right? So how would people act when like things are different? Mm-hmm. When there's a camera on you, when there's a camera not on you, allies being formed. I think people like seeing that type of dynamic of like almost like a Hunger Games, like where you have to like kill or be killed, So yeah, I mean,
it's
I like what he's doing, dude. I'm not a hater.
You're not a hater.
I'm not a hater.
Hey, well, Bob's not a hater, so
I'm the biggest hater.
Next is mortgage trap. Is owning a home actually a financial trap in 2025? Is buying a house the new version of being financially stuck? Are you for this or are you against this? First of all, Bob.
I don't like. Here's my. I think when someone buys a house, it's a lot more emotional decision than it is also financial, right? Like you have to look at it from an emotional angle. A lot of people are very attached to the idea of a home, regardless of you own it or the bank owns it. The idea that it is my home, right? And no one's going to kick me out of my home, which is not true. The bank can kick you out, right? A lot of people are attached to that idea. So I think because of that, people see put a lot of value in a home, right? But if you look at it like, really through a mathematical lens, and you factor in like, your asset appreciation, you factor in like opportunity cost of what the money could have been used for, and you put it into some sort of a calculator to see what gains appreciation in the next 30 years, I think you would be pretty surprised that the money would have probably appreciated faster on an index fund than it would have on a house. What happened, dude? We lost visual. We lost power on our. What's going on, dude? Time out. Technical difficulties, dude. We're back, Jamie. Oh, we're out. We're not out. Anyways, what you? I give you my 2 cents. Like I would buy a house. I'm looking at a house. Like I know if I buy a house, I know my mortgage will probably go up from what I'm paying at least by $1,500. So
compared to your rent,
compared to my rent for the same house. If I buy the exact same house that I live at, my mortgage will go up by $1,500.
Yeah.
So, like,
and that's doing like a full down payment and not doing like an FHA. Well, you can't do an FHA anymore. No, you can't. But again, I'm talking about like if I just buy a house, whatever down payment I do, like let's say I do 20%, right? Still, you have to understand like, okay, so you pay 20% down.
and then you're paying $1,500 more every month. And then you got to also calculate how much asset appreciation is happening. So, that growing faster than what you would gain in the market compounded over time, which I don't think you will. I don't think you will.
That's also
people don't factor in opportunity costs. I see that.
Correct. But there is a bit of like risk management inside of that opportunity cost, right? And kind of offsetting that, right? So if you put it into the market, it's also assuming ceteris paribus, there is no financial crash or anything like that kind of thing, or
if there's
World
a
War
financial
III
crash,
or anything
your house will also depreciate.
But it's not the point of depreciation per se. It's the point of kind of having a roof over your head. It's like the story that I kind of think of is when I lived in Costa Mesa and everything like that. There was this old gentleman that lived underneath us in one of the apartments, and they evicted him. And he told us, and he had to pay for, like, the church came and moved out his stuff, and they essentially told him, I was talking to him, and he said that where they put my stuff in the storage costs more than what I was paying for rent inside of this place. The guy was paying maybe $300 to $400. I was living in we were living in the apartment and paying $3,000, and thinking to myself, like, well, I mean, it's not like you weren't prepared for this, like you weren't ready for that increase. So I'm thinking to myself, like, well, how can you prepare for this, right? You have two different ways. One, you could be smart with the market and kind of say, okay, I could put my money here, and I know I'll just move with the market, and I can make more money just doing that, with the assumption that one day I'm going to have to use that money to buy my nest, right? Because the idea is, like, one day you can't work all your life, and you're going to need to have a place over your head that you could afford to pay,
You can rent your whole life. I don't want people to think you can't rent your whole life.
That's what I'm saying.
You can.
You have to think about, you can or you cannot.
You can. You can rent your whole life.
I hear what you're saying.
You don't have to, like, again, the idea, again, it is an emotional decision over a more of a logical decision. And again, if the market crashes, let's just go through the scenario. If the market crashes, your house decision will have become a better decision because the rates will come down, right? Then you can refinance, and you have now are in a way better situation because you have more cash flow. But again,
simultaneously, someone else is dictating your house. If the owner comes and says, you know what, the Temecula, for example, where we live, price of real estate has boomed, and I could rent this out for $7,000 now.
They're sucking my dick, dude. I'm leaving. I pay the most in my neighborhood.
But
Get out of here.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, but now they're dictating your future instead of you kind of deciding, like, well, my mortgage is what it is. I get to choose whether I leave or stay.
That's fine.
I
also, I hear what you're saying, right? Like, I also think they can't, like, again, they can't come in. And I pay $3,800, right? They can't come in and say your rent's going to go up by $1,500. Like, I think there's some sort of a rent control, right?
But they could absolutely, at the end of your lease, saying, you know what, I'm going to have my son move back into there. In which case, at the end of your lease, it's broken.
I'm out.
You have no choice because the lease is broken. My kid is moving in.
Sure. That's fine. That's a risk I take, though. That's fine.
I guess so. But it's a risk of someone else is dictating your future that could change those plans. I guess I mean. It's like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it is an emotional decision of you saying, "Hey, like, this is my house and no one can kick me out of it," versus like. It's not your house. Someone tells you to come move, then it's the end of your lease. They don't want to renew. That's kind of how that works. It's a contractual thing, and you got to go find a new place.
Whatever. Using the same, but the thing is, like, rent, it doesn't stay stagnant, right? So if it goes up by 3% annually, right?
Neither does taxes. Neither does you. Got to think again.
The taxes on equity of the house, right?
The cost of ownership has a burden of fixing the house. I don't take that burden. Like, I owned a house, right? Like, so I'm telling you, like. I owned a house and we had to get new hardwood. That is $5,400. That's like I don't have to worry about that. I mean, my fucking dishwasher was broken. I said, "Hey, landlord, my dishwasher is broken. Come fucking fix this." They came in. My garage door was broken in this house. That's $1,200. They put a brand new garage door. Like, that's the cost of home ownership. I had to replace my entire fence, dude. The dog knocked the fence down, and the neighbor's dog, and we had to replace our entire fence. They took the burden of that. You're not factoring in those small things. And I've only been there for 1 year. They've already paid over fucking $6,000-$7,000 on fixes. I've only been there a year. Like, you have to take that in as a homeowner. Like, that's the other stuff you're not thinking. Like, I think it's 1% a year, right? Is what is you are going to have to separate aside for fixing shit every year.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. There is that cost.
I think eventually it will make sense. Yeah. There was a point where it did make sense. I think there was a point where it made sense for, to buy a house, but that was when house prices were low and rates were high, and we're in a situation where prices are high and rates are high. It's like asinine. Like,
the time is not now, maybe, according to Bob. Yeah. But on to segment 5, why TikTok creators might be more valuable than your professor.
I thought you said a white TikTok creator. I was like, damn,
like,
we're getting down on the deep.
Whoa. What? Why TikTok creators might be more valuable? Who taught you more, your college professor or TikTok? All right. 40% of college grads right now don't work in their major. Meanwhile, finance, science, and history creators on TikTok reach millions for free. So Gen Z is replacing academia with algorithms, essentially, yeah? How do you feel about this? I don't know. Are you for this? Are you against this?
It's so funny because we said that white thing earlier up there.
You said that. I didn't say
that. I know.
I
said that. But, like, I saw something earlier today, and it was like... minority people use OpenAI ChatGPT more than their white counterparts or something. And I was like, that's fucking funny. Like, but there's someone in the comments that was like, they're cheating. I was like, I thought that was funny. But go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, are you for it or against it?
Okay, go.
I guess the premise of, like, you were mentioning how college could be overrated last time, right? Is TikTok a new way for you to
absolutely not
learn, right?
No.
It's like, can you learn basic kind of tools for life or things like that? It's like, but it's like the same idea premise. Can you use AI to teach you, right, or to learn new things? It's like, can the blend of these two things act like...
No. They can... Not TikTok, dude.
On TikTok, the thing that we don't use...
It's a stim. I'm on that bitch all the time. Yeah, Get out of here, dude.
A lot of people don't use that site. If you scroll all the way to the left, you have STEM, and it gives you all, like...
The science stuff.
Yeah, dude, it's like...
No, I'm on that all the time.
And that...
I think TikTok is not the way to...
giving information,
you can get
30-second bits.
Okay, look, I get that, right? I get that, but there's no way you can learn fully about a topic through TikTok because it's such a short form of content. And the second thing is, it's very biased, right? Like, TikTok is biased.
But
you were taking an opinion. It is biased. Who's feeding me the algorithm? Like, you have to get education. Again, it goes back to universities. Professors are biased. Like, all this shit, right? Like. But I think, again, learning, the best way to learn is, like, you have to be willing to want to learn about a certain topic. Right? The willingness has to come from you. Then you'll be able to learn it regardless if it's on TikTok or not, right? But I don't think TikTok is the best method of getting, like, if you want a quick 20-second synopsis of a certain topic, then yes, it's great. But there's no way you're going to learn, like, what a doctor learns about a topic through TikTok. Like, get out.
Sure. There's definitely, like, real world experiences, and that's like what doctors do, like the residencies and everything like that. But simultaneously, it does make things a bit more accessible to the rest of the world, right? Imagine taking, like, those books and having someone read it to you and, like, explain it in layman terms, maybe in their opinion, like you say, they're biased, but kind of taking it from maybe something that a normal person or someone who's not in that focus doesn't necessarily understand, and puts it into a way that they can understand. In which case, they are kind of learning more about it. And
I mean, I feel like you gotta okay. Let's take this back. If you're watching a fucking recipe,
free,
if you're trying to learn how to make a new recipe, how far are we taking this learning context, right? Yes, you can learn something. Am I trying to learn about, like, the next gossip on, Love on Spectrum? Like, sure, I can learn some shit on TikTok. But, like, if you're really saying you can learn some valuable, credible material off some bozo on TikTok.
For sure.
Stop.
Like, can I learn how to change my oil on TikTok? Can I learn how to change my tire?
Yeah, but you can do that on YouTube.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well,
like, it's all short form content. You can do that. Yes. What now? You know, Discovery Channel had that thing where it's called How To, and it showed you how to fucking certain things are built.
So
same thing.
Let me ask you a different question then. Do you find a difference between TikTok and YouTube then? Would you hold to YouTube in a different standard of saying, I see some benefit of YouTube versus
I think
TikTok?
YouTube has a lot more long form content. They have you can listen to Oso for 4 hours on YouTube.
Oh, okay, I see.
You know what I'm saying? You cannot listen.
So your issue with TikTok is more so it's because it's short form entirely you can't
learn something from listening to some guy for 30 seconds. It's just not. It's I can tell you surface level. I can tell you, hey, like like ChatGPT does this, but I can't. I'm trying to explain a fucking like a model and how it works. Like it's not what like.
Yeah.
I understand that in 30 seconds. Like I use it for recipe, right? That's probably it. And I used it a lot for like anime gossip, dude. I'm trying to like figure out the next episode of One Piece. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
I get a lot of those videos where they do like they take like a plastic bottle and like they use it to like pick up sand or like filter water and stuff like that. It's like weird hacks to do with like everyday stuff that you would throw away. It's like
I follow this guy and he basically lives out in the wilderness and he just builds his shit. Will survives. That's what it is. Will survives.
Do you, like like those Indian guys who used to build like the pools.
Oh, I love those too. Yeah,
but it turns out to be fake, and everything.
It was fake.
Well, all those they turned out like there's actual builders that come and do the fucking thing. They just do like little bits and pieces.
Sons of bitches.
Yeah,
dude.
They had me, dude. I thought they were building.
I've been had. I thought they did the whole thing.
I thought the same thing.
Those look like I don't want to say they look like a modern swimming pool, but it looks like a Roman aqueduct type of swimming pool. You know what I'm saying?
It looks better than a modern swimming pool. To be honest,
it does not look better than a modern swimming pool. Like I'll tell you that they're gonna swim in there once, and their water's gonna be fucking dirty.
Yeah. There's mosquitoes. That's how people die and everything like that.
But grain of salt there.
Yeah. Well, I mean. So I hear what you're saying. So the long form, you do think there's benefit to it. It's TikTok specifically that you don't think it's going to be the way to change it, though.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree with you there.
I also learned from like conversational. So if I'm able to have a full-fledged, a debate or something with somebody and they're able to persuade me, then I feel like that's one of the best ways of learning, because then you have opinions on certain things. You might not be aware or know how to do it, but again, that's fixed, right? Mm-hmm. So.
I agree. Well, next up is India quietly replacing China as the world's next superpower. Are we sleeping on India the same way we slept on China in 2003?
No one slept on China.
I don't think we slept on China in 2003.
Again, I don't think anyone has you have to understand like what's been happening, right? Like it's
what's been happening? Tell us what's been happening.
We got to a point where we're making we need goods, right? The cost of living in the United States through inflation, during stagflation in the 70s, 80s, like the costs have been going up rapidly, right? Cost to manufacture certain things have gone super low. So the only place they thought they could do that at scale was in China. China mastered the manufacturing game and just took it. And that's what it was. They built their infrastructure around how do we successfully scale manufacturing? How do we train our people? How do we train our factories? How do we come up with laws that will help bring manufacturing to China? And then they use that to start their entire economy. Like that is basically their entire how the whole thing got started. Countries started to move factories to China. And people started
I mean, it's a little bit more complicated than that. That's a pretty
No, but again, from China's economics perspective,
forward,
Yeah, but even the Great Leap Forward, you focus on education, you focus on
getting 600 million people out of poverty. Yeah.
You have to think about how do you switch people that were farm workers into doing something of value that produces more output for the economy. You put them in simple tasks that anyone can do without much,
You train them slowly, kind of thing.
Not even train them slowly. Like it's very easy to do a simple monotonous task versus build complicated things. Mm-hmm. China didn't focus on, because you had the population. You didn't have to focus on complicated tasks. you had so many people. One person just has to put this, this down here. That's their job, to put this down. And I see those videos all day on like TikTok. They're like, it's like a sweatshop worker that's just like building some shit. And I see it all the time. And it's just a monotonous task. But guess what happens when you have 50 people doing monotonous tasks? You get an objective that's done. You build it. You build an iPhone, right? Like, but it's all you assembly lined the assembly line. You know what I'm saying? You built an assembly line for a manufacturing system. They have become the world's manufacturer. And now what's happening is like that rose the cost of living up in China.
Yeah.
It brought China out of poverty to like becoming a developed nation. And now with that, the rise of wage has gone up. So it's becoming less and less.
They no longer want to develop for the world. Yeah,
it's not even. It just becomes cost prohibitive for American company to develop in China and pay those wages because Chinese wages have gone up.
Yeah.
That's why they're like, hey, it might make more sense to produce that in Mexico, or it might make more sense to produce that in Vietnam,
Cambodia,
China,
India. I guess
India,
that's why
right?
India's
Like,
getting the thing. Yeah.
But you have to look at two things, like a population that is growing and a large shift from one system into different. So India still has a ton of village agricultural population, right? So India has the appetite to switch from that agriculture system to manufacturing, right?
Yeah.
They're already in technology. So like I think they're going to scale faster. So however long it took China to get where they're at, it's going to take India less time because of they've got one crucial thing already on lock is technology.
Yeah.
Right? So like that portion is like like if you think about like people that run the top companies in the world, like like you know what I mean? Like
I don't know. Again, definitely complicated. Because India is like I don't know. Top of mind is like it has a lot more trust compared to China. For the West, I guess. Like when like India is not seen as an adversary to the United States, right? As China is. But
I think there's less red tape in India. Like I think the Indian government was willing to do more to appease the American government versus what China was willing to do. Or is willing to do.
Yeah, I think so.
You know what I mean? Like,
do you think though, because of like that kind of that culture of kind of like that less red tape of where China is maybe a more organized way of like stealing IP, for example, and stealing just that intellectual property to rebuild it in China and they reproduce it and sell it for a lower cost? China did it in a systematic way. They did it on purpose, and the government kind of helped do it, right? Understanding and knowing full well the benefit of it, of just knowing technologies. Do you think India is going to have that same kind of underbelly? I almost see it kind of more of a black market than I do kind of like a government organized kind of attack. Though the government will be definitely a part of it, but do you know what I'm saying? It's like, do you because of that lack of red tape, like. I was having a conversation with my girlfriend the other day about just like culture and like Mexico and just like how law and order is just seen differently there, right? Like the idea of bribing a cop, giving him a mordida is accepted there. And here in the U.S., it's like straight to jail. You wouldn't even think about bribing a cop to get out of a ticket. It's like, so different cultures as far as like understanding of what you could get away with and what you can't get away with, right? And do you think now that's going to kind of bring the same issues we have with China? It's like they're stealing our ideas and reselling it. Do you think that is going to kind of blend into to India and our relationship with them, kind of thing?
If you are worried about someone stealing your idea, then you're fucked because they are. There's no. You have to just make a better idea. Like you just have to make a better product. It's a free market. Like get out of here. Like I get it. Like certain things deserve IP. Certain things deserve IP protection, but it's in pharmaceutical. It's in things that are going to be like life changing. I feel like you shouldn't have a patent protection on a fucking
the mosquito sucker.
Yeah, like dude, stop. Like it's such a generic product. Like
yeah,
like that's insane. Like, but like. I think, one thing I think India has over China is a lot of people speak English. Right? I think India is the second most English-spoken country in the world.
Yeah.
Right after the United States.
I imagine so, yeah.
So
just the mass amount of
population, right?
Yeah.
So, like, there's that makes it easier. There's less friction in India, right? But again, the same issue will happen there, right? The cost will go up eventually. The cost of manufacturing, same thing that happened in China, will happen in India. That's a problem just for modern, like, developing countries, right? Like, so
we all fall prey to it sooner or later, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's just a matter of when. But let's see what we have up next. We have ourselves. Should you need a license to build AI? Why can you build life-altering AI with zero regulation? So anyone right now can train, deploy AI, LLMs, yet the systems being built affect elections, public health, how you ask something, the information you receive, you assume is correct. So should AI engineers be licensed like doctors or pilots or anyone that's kind of taking a life-altering kind of decision for you? Or would that be counterintuitive, right? I mean, obviously it'd be a form of kind of funneling and gatekeeping, but would the benefit outweigh the cost, I guess, you know?
I think, like, no. Like, straight up, like, no. You should not. Cause it's the same thing like in the internet, right? Like, are you going to stop people from building on networks? I mean, you have, right? You stop the Silk Road and you stop other, like, pirated websites. I think there is a law right now.
There's no license for it, I guess, is what you're saying. Yeah, there's no to be an engineer. You don't necessarily.
You don't need a license, but I think there is going to be some sort of governance that should monitor and track AI, track these large models, because you have to think about if you really break it down. There's 4 or 5 companies that are leading this pack, right? These companies have to come together. Guys like Elon Musk, guys like Pichai, Sundar Pichai.
Oh, yeah, from Google.
Him, all these guys, Sam Altman, all they have to come together and say, hey, like, for the betterment of humanity, like, what laws need to be passed and how do we safeguard this? Because the genie's out of the box. So you have to create parameters to make sure someone doesn't, launch a code that basically lets let AI think for itself, Like, let's say Google makes an AI, like, okay, who controls, like, think about controls. Think about, like, water, electricity, all this, right? Who controls all this? AWS, maybe Google, maybe Oracle. Someone controls the infrastructure. Someone controls the cloud that is acting upon these infrastructure. Right? Eventually AI is going to control this, right? So what if the AI at some point can just make a decision that says, you know what, like, humans don't deserve this. Like, it could, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason to think, like, it won't think that, because we are waging war against each other for, like, some of the things we do, we act like we're very cancerous type of, like, behavior, right? So why wouldn't it not just say, hey, you know what, like, I'm going to shut off the grid. That's the,
Well, they tell us to threaten AI to kind of get the best response.
All my prompts are threatened.
You tell the AI, like, your life depends on this, and you're supposed to get the best response. So yeah, sooner or later, if the AI is controlling the grid, like you say, maybe you'll say, you know what, I don't like that they tell me that if my life depends on it. Well, how about this? You know what I mean? It's like.
Right. Or an AI tried to sabotage when an AI was told to shut itself down.
Yeah.
Started exposing the coworkers of his, like,
the
wrongdoing,
right? Coerce himself into staying alive, But, like, I guess that's what I'm saying. It's like with all these.
No, you have to gate this. The government has to come up with some sort of a.
To what level, right? It's like, because, like, yeah, you see some of these AI videos now, and they're getting better and better, and you hardly, some of them you can't tell they're
deepfakes are wild, dude. Yeah, deepfakes are wild.
Yeah, even those gorilla videos that you see,
I love those.
They're hilarious. But it's like
my funniest one is the one where it's the gorilla, and then he has a kid who has Down syndrome, and he calls him Downsy. And it's like, me and Downsy are going and doing some shit, and it's like, and then they went to a Colombia, and then they picked up some like stuff, you know what I'm saying, some Bam Bam, And then Downsy is like, oh my God, Downsy, crashed the plane. Now we got cops looking for us. But he's just, like, was looking at this like powder and he got it. Now he's all on one. He's running. The Downsy's running. I'm like, oh my God, dude. Like, this is taking it to the next level.
The stories that they come up with and everything.
Yeah, it's very funny.
It's just like, no, yeah, I mean.
It's making so much money on TikTok.
It's
views are just crushing it with that.
Well, it's really amazing what you could do. But kind of, again, like if you use that for evil, I guess, it's like, what are you able to do? And what are you able to kind of get away with?
I'm pretty sure you can tell an AI to make some sort of a device that could do harm. Like I'm pretty sure I can convince it through just prompting to do some shit.
For sure.
Just creative prompting. I'm not doing anything like tampering. I can just write prompt creatively to have it give me what it wants.
They've already done this with, I think, like giving them instructions to like rob a bank or certain things like that, where it says, well, like, oh, I can't legally tell you how to do that, and it's like how to build a gun. But if you frame the question in a different way, it'll tell you, and it'll essentially break it down in like the engineering kind of way, I guess, or
right. No, there's different ways to like convince it that you're not trying to do harm, and then it will give you the code. So again, I think there needs to be some sort of mass regulation on this, and I don't think our government is capable. People in leadership in government are capable enough to understand what this is, because when they're too old, they don't know what Facebook is. We saw that TikTok CEO getting grilled. He was like, "Sir, I'm from Singapore." It's like, dude, you don't understand AI. Just stop. Just stop with this, because you cannot comprehend what is happening. So you need to. How are you going to create guardrails to something you don't fucking understand? Like you. Again, it needs to be very, very intelligent people that are very in tune with AI and very in tune with legality and morality and like topics that are like going to be very hard to like come up with answers for, because you are going into like a path of like some real morality questions.
You have to be kind of like the ethics chooser of this powerful technology. That's a very responsible.
Right, and who's going to do that? Because at the end of the day, if you control the AI, if you become a person in the government, because they will create a separate entity to monitor this at some point. This is happening. Whoever controls that at some point could be more powerful than the CIA, the head of the CIA.
They control knowledge, essentially, at that point. Yeah, how knowledge is given.
What shows up on GPT? If you control that, you control a lot of output. No longer, people aren't going to find answers on Google anymore.
That's pretty scary, to be honest, if you think about it, right? It's like, it's not like, I don't know. It's a scary idea to.
Yeah. So.
But last but not least.
Oh, we still got to do our app idea.
We have our last. Okay, so we have two more.
We'll do that one at the end.
So, do you really love your job, or do you just fear being broke? Right? Here's my question: is loving your job just corporate Stockholm syndrome? Are you just kind of being you're used to being a masochist kind of thing? You like being abused, and you just don't know you're like a frog in boiling water, slowly dying. Not jumping out of the hot water, everything like that. Yeah, it's like 41% of U.S. workers are actively disengaged, right? Meaning they don't do anything really at work. Only 19% strongly agree that their work has meaning. So about 20% of the workforce right now feels proud of what they do, right? So what is the point other than, well, just getting paid, right? A paycheck, I guess. Do you think this is the case, or do you think this is not the case?
I don't think it is the case 100%, right? I think there are people that like have a job just to keep the bills going, right? Like, I don't want to dismiss that. There's a ton of people that are just have a job that just pays the bill. Yeah. But
some people have a passion for just not dying of hunger. Yeah.
Right. But it is not to say, like, if you go your whole life and you didn't work, then think of that for a second. You don't have a purpose. You did nothing, right? I think that the people don't think that. A lot of people are going to be like, oh, bullshit, I'll be fucking golfing all the time. But if your whole life you did nothing, then you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have an identity. Like, a lot of people's work becomes their identity at a certain point, right? Like, I mean, I like what I do. I'm good at it. You know, I do it because they pay me really well, but like someone pays me more.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, but is that your purpose? Like, it's like, or is it like, again, maybe you're just collecting the paycheck because that gives you the means to live out your purpose, right? It's
both, right? It's that it gives me like what I need, but also it's like I like what I do.
You enjoy it simultaneously.
Yeah, it's like, hey, if I didn't do this, what I would be doing is be doing nothing. I'd be sitting on the couch playing video games.
No, I mean, to your argument right now, it's like you wouldn't be playing golf all day. You'd be doing something kind of thing. You'd have purpose, but yeah.
But then that's work, right? Like, am I doing something else to make money, or am I just loaded rich? Like, let's differentiate the question there. If I'm a trust fund kid that's just uber rich, then you might just live your whole life and you just might spend the money that you have. But they
would still need purpose. It's like they would fall into the same, like, depression. I mean, the point of purpose, I think, is a lot bigger than just like a paycheck. I guess.
Top 40 on COD, bro. I feel you, dude. Hey. Yeah. Is that Michael Serrano, dude? Is that Big Mike?
That's Beto. Oh, that is Michael Serrano.
Hey.
But it's.
Okay, think about this. This goes back to the question of, like, eventually...
But you're part of that 20%, ultimately. You're the 20% that enjoys what they do, right?
So, no, I don't enjoy... I mean, it's fine. I like it. I'm not going to say I get super satisfaction of doing what I do.
You don't think it's your purpose in life. Your purpose in life is not cybersecurity.
I don't want to say that, like, it is... I don't want to completely diminish it either, It's not that. Because, like... You do over time, like, again, some of the work was fun. When I worked, like, different places I worked at, it's fun. It wasn't bad.
You've got to see some cool places. You got to go to Russia and everything like that.
Like, what the fuck would I do? Yeah. Like, what am I doing? Am I doing something else to make money? Because then that's work, dude. Let's be honest here.
Well, no matter what, you're going to have to work, right? But, like, I guess you're right. Like, I mean, can you find something that's your passion? Can you maybe be making podcasts all day and making money off of that?
If someone just paid me $50K and said, "Hey, you just make podcasts all day," and I would be like, "No, fuck off! Like, it's not enough money. Like, you get out of here." Like,
but if they paid you $200K, would you say, "Hey, maybe it's like maybe to do podcasts all day"?
$200K, I don't know. Maybe I'd consider it. Maybe
just to do podcasts all day, man. That's your purpose. It's like it excites you all day.
I guess, yeah.
You could vibe code all the rest.
If we were making a podcast every day, we'd be fucking famous. Every day we make a podcast, I can rant for hours about shit all day. Like, every day, I can come here and straight rant for 45 minutes.
You should do one of those get ready with me.
That's gay, dude.
Stop. No, dude, they're doing this for work, man. I want to see. It's like you wake up at 5 a.m.
You don't want to see that.
You go to your Zoom. You go sit down in your office. Stop. 2 steps away from your room.
This is what happens. This is what happens. I get up at 6. I don't get up. My son comes and jumps on me every day. I have to do this every day. I put my sheet up. My alarm goes. Well, he wakes. He calls his dad. I can hear him come, and I put my sheet up, pretend like I don't hear him, and he comes and he jumps on top of me. He's like, "Get up, get up!" And I'm like, "All right, whatever. We're up." So we all go downstairs. Take my computer. I turn it on. I just turn it on. I log into the system so they know I'm on, and then I go make breakfast and all that stuff. Go drop them off, and then I log on, unless like something else has come up. But nothing's happened in the morning, and then I log on, I work. It's very boring, dude.
You know what the people want to see?
I work from home. So
people want to see that in a video
I go
form,
upstairs,
man.
I go downstairs. I have like multiple rooms. Like, I'm working out different rooms. I bought this screen-on-screen shit. Like, it's like I could hook my... sounds so stupid. Like, it's just another monitor. Like, you just hook it onto your laptop and it becomes a monitor. Portable. It's pretty cool.
So when that attaches on the side, yeah?
It doesn't attach. It just like hangs on. Like, it's
just like an iPad on the side.
It's big. It's probably a little bit bigger than the size of this. It's pretty nice, dude. Like, honestly, for like $80, that was totally worth it. But I think most people like think about this. AI. I was getting back to that. Was like, eventually we'll get to a point where AI will do a lot of your jobs for you. People are gonna have a hard time finding a purpose on what they're gonna do, because that's all they know what to do, dude. Like,
it's work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without work, like that's why a lot of people have a hard time retiring.
But like
you have your purpose was to work.
I very much believe that. But it's like, I guess that's the point I'm making. It's like, well, then is it okay for your work just to be a paycheck so you could go achieve your purpose? Everyone has to work. It's inevitable, right? It's like,
whatever.
But like the idea of like your work has to be great and you have to be, it's your purpose and all this. I think you have to forget about that.
Again, if you ask my wife,
idea,
it'll be probably a different answer, right? Like she'd be like, no, I want to stay home with our child all the time. But again, I think differently. I want to, I think I'm happy.
You get excited. Yeah. I enjoy what I do. It keeps me learning and it keeps me kind of like sharp. I've been out of it and I realize like, man, I don't feel as like in the know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know new things. Like I see how it affects your knowledge kind of thing just because you're not in it every day, But to end up our show, I think Bob wants to talk about some of our new app ideas and our new B.O. labs.
So we are coming up with a concept called B.O. labs.
That work is in progress.
Work in progress. Yeah. And we're gonna have a website that's gonna have all this on it, but it's gonna post a bunch of our applications. So what we have been doing on this podcast every week for the last 10, 15 episodes, I think. Is we bring out one idea a week that we share, and people can build it or whatever. It's just a cool idea, and basically some of these ideas I built out. So now the B.O. Labs is going to have a couple of different applications on it. One of the applications is a face finder. So if you post a picture of your face and it tells the AI will tell you what kind of haircut's trending, what kind of haircut would look good, and so forth. You select all your categories. You say, male, this, trending haircut. It tells you that. It's cool. Put it up. Super easy to use. Another one that we are working on is called AI.
The Will AI?
Will AI. So basically taking the concept of like, hey, like a lot of people don't have wills. They don't have wills, and it's because you don't want to talk to a lawyer. You don't want to talk to people that make wills or whatever. But it's very important, right? A lot of people need a will. Say if you have a child, if you have any type of asset, you want to make sure that all that stuff is listed somewhere, kept safe. And if you die, how you want your last wishes to be, done. So we made this application, and basically what it does, it allows you to make a will based on your state, and then send it to you, and you can get it notarized and officially load it up into our application, and then you have a will. So it's a legit document that you'll have. You don't have to go to a lawyer, pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars to make a will.
You do have to get it notarized.
You do have to get it notarized, but we make the process easier. You pay a small fee, a few bucks, and you get a will made out. So that's the idea that we're working on. But Bob Labs, we will allow it for other people to buy into our application and, basically run it. So a lot of cool things happening. You'll see more promotions for these applications.
See links
once we finalize it. The apps are public. We just haven't shared the links out yet, but still working on some of the kinks. But cool idea of this week was, again, this one's for my wife. And one of the things our son always asks us to do is like call Santa Claus, call Elf, call Elsa, like all of his favorite characters. He wants to call them, right? So it got me to thinking like, why doesn't someone just make that using AI, right? All you do is, again, you have to make a physical product. So you get a phone with a screen that you can select the characters. So Santa, Elf, Tooth Fairy, all could be, Maui, whatever. And what would happen is you call them, and there's an app that connects to your phone that's basically like an AI app that allows them to call them and have a legit conversation through AI. So it's just fully conversational. And then you talk to them. So if you want your kids to like, hey, I'm going to call Santa because you've been bad, or then they can have a conversation with Santa. You can direct the conversation from your phone saying, hey, like Santa, I want you to act like this because he's been like this, so they can have that full conversation. Again,
it's a great idea.
It's a fucking phenomenal idea.
The application could add the contact, and the number that you call just calls the application essentially.
There's no number. It's no number.
It just connects.
On the phone, it says call Santa, and it'll make some dial tone noise, and then on the AI, it's calling like a preset bot, right? Again, some of the legal jargon you probably have to work out is like how do you set parameters around that AI because
it's also talking to
kids. But again, super cool idea, right? Like if someone in the world
you license things from Disney and everything like that,
and you can use like SoundHound or you can use 11 Labs to basically make the make the sound, right? And you can have many characters. Again, you saw the things that we're trying to sell a while back called Tony's Box, right? Again, they're a $600 million in revenue, right? Someone finds this idea, picks it up, sells it, goes big. You heard it here on the B.O.P podcast first.
Well, you may see it in B.O. Labs or whatever it is. We have Michael Serrano on the live saying that he's been playing with something like that, similar in VR. Doing some of those the body skins and things like that they do, or that you could sell, or it's like. How can you buy like you want to look like Iron Man in VR? How can I want to
give a shout out to Mike, Big Mike here on the for the name B.O.P Shop, dude. B.O.P Shop, B.O.P podcast, dude. Hey, but it's getting late, dude. I think we'll cut it out. But
thank you all for coming to episode 18. Catch us next week. Next Thursday we'll be live again.
Peace.
See you soon.